Get it on Googles. Player of the App Store. Here's the Cavalier Fuller. Going for the shot! Oh yes! What a strike from the Cavalier Fuller! Number 7 for Tivoli.
Portmore United has never lost to a team 3 times same season. Never happened before. Will the tables turn in this Jamaica Premier League playoff quarterfinal? And also, Tivoli Garden entered the Premier League top 6, the quarterfinals of the Jamaica Premier League, at the expense of Montego Bay top 2 position, semi-final spot. Will Montego Bay make them pay dearly for really making them miss out on the top 2 position quarterfinal? Alright, so welcome back people to MG Sports TV. This is your preview for the Jamaica Premier League quarterfinals playoff double header. Montego Bay versus Tivoli Garden, Cavalier versus Portmore. Smash the like button, people. Hit the subscribe button if you're here for the first time. And if you like content like these, don't know anything go already, share the content. Appreciate it if you do that. I mean, kind of think other people out there you're bridging you talk to would like it, like to even hear what me have to say. Probably, just probably. But like target for this video, trying to hit 300 likes for this video. Is that possible? If we can get 300 views, we can get 300 likes. I think so. I very much think so. So let's see if we can get that on the job. All right, so where should we start? First match, second match. All right, so we're going to start at the 6 p.m. match, which is Tivoli Garden versus Montego Bay United. All right, so let's start off with the numbers. So far this season, Tivoli Garden not necessarily gotten the better of Montego Bay. This season, it has been a Mobay season between both teams. Tivoli Garden would have won only 1 game between the R3 matchup, and generally that is the most important matchup that they would have won. That is the matchup that take them into the top 6. Now, first, basically an aggregate, Tivoli Garden would have scored so far total of 5 goals on the Mobay United team, whilst Mobay would have scored a total of 8 goals against Tivoli. Now, general, this doesn't really mean nothing much when it comes out to playoffs, you know, because we find out in the playoffs is that all of them something kind of dash way, but means something based off the form that the players are going into the playoffs with. Speaking about players' form, who are the players we should look out for? For me, generally, I do think this is going to be quite an interesting matchup. A Tivoli Garden team under Jerome Waite. We know Jerome Waite have runners. He loves runners. He loves a fit team. A team that can play for 180 minutes without hesitating, without breaking a sweat. But the Montego Bay team is so stacked with quality all around the pitch. I do think, though, they are the type of team that are a little bit top heavy in regards they have a lot of firepower and kind of a bit leakish in the defensive third. Will Tivoli exploit that? How can Tivoli exploit that? Who will exploit that for the Tivoli Garden teams? All right, key notes, point of note here. Players to look out for, first of all, for Tivoli Garden is Lennox Russell, coming to the team, who is in fine form, goal scorer. I think he's a very good player for the Tivoli team so far this season. He has been vital in what they're doing. He has been critical in how far they have reached now in at this point of the season. But the most important player for the Tivoli Guard teams from the start of the season to know would have been Nikolai Fuller. Nikolai Fuller, who has been immaculate so far this season. Yes, he has moments where he kind of boil off a little bit. He's a young player. You'd expect that. He's one of the young sensations in the league with high expectations on his back to carry the Tivoli team to lift that trophy and bring the title down in the garden. Now, one key factor for Nikolai Fuller is his set pieces. He is dangerous on free kick. He hasn't scored one in a couple of games now. But one thing for sure, if one or two pops up in these two games, I am very, very sure he will be licking his lips and said, "This is mine. This is my bread and butter." But at the end of the day, those two players are key players for the Tivoli Garden teams. They will be prove vital coming in this game. Next up for the Montego Bay team, Montego Bay, who is a team who have quite a lot of firepower. Now, for me, Montego Bay is stuck with so much quality. I do believe, though, they do have an issue where the defense is concerned. I think defensively, they are not necessarily the strongest. So I do think you can breach your defense. But one of the reasons why their defense is not so highlighted, because of the man in the middle of the pitch, which is Lucas Lima. He is one of possible top 2 best DM in the island. He is phenomenal, people. He's crazy top talent at Montego Bay. He's Brazilian. I wonder if he can naturalize him. Anyways, but he's crazy talent. He's very good ball handler, very good defensive midfielder for in the league. And definitely will be a key factor here. I do think also Triminam's Josiah Triminam centre back for Montego Bay team, who has been a brick wall for them, will also be a key factor. This Mobay team has quality right throughout. Also going forward, Chenil Thomas, who kind of went off the ball at the end part of this season, but I do think he is a big game player and they will be looking forward to see him. Owen Gordon, another man that they were looking to definitely be an impact player in this this phase of the season. Jordan Fletcher, another impact player. They have an attacking lineup that can most definitely hurt any team. But I'm telling you, this Mobay team is a team that is stuck with quality. I do think, though, defensively is where you can get at them. So certainly that's what the Mobay versus Tivoli Garden matchup looks like. For me, though, I think I am going to go in favor of, you know what? Should I do a prediction? The whole season made a prediction. Now, why should I come here now and not do a prediction? Have a sip. Yeti. That MD. MD. Take a sip. First leg. I'm gonna go with Montego Bay United for the first leg. 2-1. Close very close encounter. I'm gonna go Montego Bay for 2-1. Now, second leg is still to come. We'll see how, based off how the first leg would end. We'll definitely see how the second leg go. Second leg would have to offer different predictions for that one. Now, let's move on to the next game. All right. As I highlighted, Portmore Utd have never lost 3 times against one team in a league season. That's never happened. This season, I think it's Mount Pleasant defeated us twice, back to back. And when they went to defeat us the third time, we beat them. 1-0 over at Ferdinand Park. But different scenario. Now, Cavalier, it's safe to say they haven't been having the best season so far this season in the league. Cup-wise, they have done a tremendous run in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, but in the league, they haven't necessarily would have had the best run. Now, one of the reasons for that is because they're playing so much other competition outside of the league, the squad itself have to be stretched. So throughout the course of the season, basically, the league did not get a lot of attention from the squad because they were pushing as far as possible other cup competition. Now, because they have so much quality, still was able to solidify themselves in the top 6 quite comfortably, which means if they can now focus on the league, that makes them a very, very dangerous team. Because if they're not focusing fully on the league and still finish top 6, what's gonna happen when they're fully focused on the league? Now, big aspect of Cavalier so far this season, they have been very, very good over the years defensively. This season would have seen that would have been one of their biggest issues. Quite so, because they would have lost in the opening aspect of the season. They would have lost some of their vital players. Gadal Irvin, Kyle Ming would have very, very important defensive stability in their team. Now, defense, as I mentioned, defensively, they can be get at 100%. Now, key factor with Cavalier team is their coach know how to set up their team when they come on to this point of the season. Very good at setting up a team at this point of the season. But nevertheless, the team still has its own issues that you can exploit. Key player to look out for in this Cavalier team, none other than Dwayne Atkinson. In my mind, my opinion, my thought, watching this league, I do believe he's the best player in the league. I can be 100% wrong. None only cannot believe what I say. In my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, arguably he is the best player in the league. Now, he would be vital for Cavalier in these upcoming quarterfinal matchup. He is going to be a danger. He's going to be a thorn to the Portmore United team, and a player that the Portmore United team must look out for. Jalmar Calvin, one of the leading goal scorers in the league, just 1 or 2 goals behind the top goal scorer, which means that he is banging in goals. I think 20 goals he has scored so far this season. He is a dangerous threat, very, very dangerous threat in the attacking force. Now, also Stein, not the most technical player or the prettiest player on the eye, but one thing for sure, he will find himself inside the 18-yard box and put that ball in the back of the net. That's all he does. Now, for Cavalier, they don't necessarily have the fancy type of football that you necessarily associate with a lot of teams. They do, though. They play quite a bit chaotic. And their players are so good with the second ball. They have very, very good players in winning the second ball because these players are quite smart. They're very good at winning second ball. And in doing so, that makes them a dangerous counterpart, especially in and around the 18-yard box. But for sure, they will be quite dangerous. Now, let's have a look at the Portmore United team. Stephen Young, Ben White would be vital, very, very vital. Portmore United is one of the best defensive records in the league so far this season. We have a problem, though. We can't score. We can't score. And that's where Jermaine Lynch is going to be very, very vital if he is available for his games. Very much unsure if he's available as yet. But if Jermaine Lynch should come back at this present moment, he will be critical to Portmore United getting a result here. But Stephen Young, very, very critical. Siegel Knight, one of the best defensive midfielder in the league so far this season. I think the top 2 would be Anglin, Lucas Lima, then Siegel Knight. But I do think he is a critical player for the Portmore United team, controlling the game, shielding the back line, and being quite important there. I do think Emily Rosso deserve a mention. He has had a brilliant game so far this season, especially now since he has shifted more centrally. Sometimes Portmore United deployed in a threat back 3-2 3-2. Yeah, I think at sometimes they do two central. Two central would have been Rose and Siegel and 3 at the back. But sometimes if they go 4, you could probably see Stephen Young alongside Emile Rossard. Sometimes Ronaldo Robinson at left back. So Portmore United have quite a lot of players who can interchange position. And he has some really good. We have some really good players who can slot in. All important players again. I think Romeo God should be vital in this phase of the season for the Portmore United team. I do think Tarek Zimenez is also a name to be mentioned who will be quite critical. Now, I do believe that I do believe that Cardell Bembo trump big in these games. Cardell Bembo would be a dangerous player, a player that they must the Cavalier team must keep an eye on. But for me, this game is going to be very crucial where the matchups are concerned. Tactically, these are two teams that actually fit playing against each other. I think the games that they've played so far this season have been relatively close. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, very close. So I'm really expecting this game to be quite another close one, extremely close, and maybe in some sense boring. Yeah, but more possession, dominant possession from Portmore United, and some form of transition from the Cavalier team. So where predictions are concerned, I do think Cavalier kind of hit one second gear. Because Portmore United have never lost three games from the same team. I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say a draw the first game. I think this game is going to be a draw, 1-1 draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw for the first leg, which sets up the second leg to be an excited and very excited encounter. Anyways, drop your prediction in the comment section. People, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We're out. God bless. Boom. I mean, outside. What?